That's part of Oceania. That's Madagascar. Now you know. That's where King Julian lives.
I thought Madagascar was like in South America.
Nope. I know somebody who used to live in Madagascar.
There's people there.
There's not huge societies, but there are people who live there. Does anybody get his joke? Well, it's pretty vanilla there. No, that's where vanilla comes from. Madagascar vanilla bean. Madagascar vanilla.
Anywhere else?
They'd probably go somewhere else now, but Madagascar is known for its vanilla beans. So what did the book say?
It's the neutral zone.
All of Europe is part of Eurasia. Europe
I thought it
and
said
Asia.
northern.
What's that?
It said northern. Yeah.
Grab a book, show me.
Where,
Prove me wrong.
where is it?
It's should be around like 184, 185. Go down a little bit.
I need to make sure I read anything about it.
No, because it's either like 95 degrees in here or like it's a
4-degree change. That's all we got. 4 degrees.
Eurasia comprises the whole of the northern part of Europe, European, and Asiatic landmass.
Asiatic landmass,
Yeah.
the northern part of Europe. Okay,
I already circled all of it.
it's fine. Yeah, you're fine. Every map I've ever seen includes all of Europe, for the most part. Okay, so more or less, this is what you should be looking at. There's an example for you. I'm going to look at your responses and see what we got. Media response. Oh, look at that. Somebody drew half of the neutral zone. Someone didn't do East Asia.
Wait, can you see mine right now?
I currently have it up as anonymous, so I can't see it, but once I review the results, I'll see it all. Yeah, see, look, I can see everybody's.
Oh my.
Dude, that literally looks so good. What are you talking about?
There's everybody's. Yeah, neutral zone, looking good.
Because yours is just literally just weird off-cycle rectangles and circles.
Okay. Okay, so does everybody pretty much?
Wait, I'm not done.
Hey, so I locked it on purpose. Look up here. This is what you should look like more or less. In the black is Oceania. In the green is neutral zone. Red, Eurasia. Blue, East Asia. Tyson.
Why is this like
Because I accidentally did a highlighter on it. I'm not perfect. Sorry, Tyson.
Looks like a car.
I'm old. I don't know. Oh yeah, I do see the car there.
Yeah.
That's so clever of you. Okay. Okay, finish up this map.
I like this looks.
It's in every second word here.
This way of learning is very, very nice.
Okay, we're moving on.
No, bruh. You literally just said
Yes,
no,
bruh. Don't call me bruh. This is English. Use whole words. Moving on. All right. What is the primary aim of war? Raise your hands, please. Let's go, Brady.
So it's basically like constant war makes it so there's constant peace. Like everyone is fighting each other, like can't really do anything about it. So they all get their own territory.
Okay. Right along those lines. Diego, haven't heard from you today.
Well, it's to so they don't get a surplus of goods, so the standard of living doesn't go higher.
So what's the problem with having a surplus of goods and increasing the standard of living?
Everyone gets more equal.
Everybody gets more equal. Why is that a problem? Kobe, what do you got?
Everybody wants.
Start talking about this and start listening about this.
It gets to a point where everybody's so used to having that surplus, that good living, that when that good living is gone, they want more, they want it back, and so you get chaos.
So you go through cycles of the middle class rising up, taking over the upper class, and the way to suppress that is don't give them a leg up, basically. Don't give them goods, don't give them the good things in life, keep them suppressed, basically. Okay, everybody good on this one? Any questions? 9? Okay. What's a hierarchical society from history? Somebody give me an example of one. Tyson. Rome. Who's at the top of Rome? Who's next? Below them? Below them? The poor. Slaves. Okay, so that perfect example. Caesar's at the top, politicians, rich folk, citizens, and then slaves, poor people all the way down at the bottom. How would you do this society that we are looking at with Big Brother? Who's at the top?
Big brother.
So Big Brother's all the way up at the very pinnacle top. He's like the one everybody looks to. Then who? Inner party. Who's next? The party. And who's at the bottom? Pros. So who, based on our last response, who were they trying to keep in line? The party members. So they don't care about the pros. Why do they not care about the pros?
Because they're unreliable.
Dumb. You can't rely on them. So they're trying to control who in the book?
The party.
Specifically. Winston, Julia. That is who they are attempting to control and manipulate. They don't care about the pros. They don't care about O'Brien. They're trying to control those people in the middle. Okay. Yes, sir.
Isn't O'Brien inner party though?
He's inner party.
So why is he still being watched?
We'll get into it a little bit. Okay. So he's being watched just because.
But what's the point of having it? You just turn it off.
Well, see, because he's trusted, basically. He's gotten to a point, and they get into this in chapter 1 in the theory and practice of oligarchical collectivism, is that the people who are in the inner party. You laughing that I can rattle that off so easily? I have said it so many times. I have said it so many times in the last week that it's in my brain now. Is that the people who are in the inner party are the fanatics. They've reached a point where they're so extreme in their beliefs that there is no doubt, essentially, about them.
But O'Brien is kind of like, yeah, then trust me now.
Yeah, you'll get there. Okay, so what is the basis upon which a hierarchical society is? What is the basis of a hierarchical society? From the book, there's a sentence, there's a phrase, there's a line. It's based on 2 things. You have to have 2 things. Colby. War. So war is the product of this thing that's necessary. Direct pull, ignorance, and poverty. You have to have ignorance and poverty in order for a hierarchical society to subsist. War gives you poverty. It also gives you ignorance because you can control what they see and what they know. And why does the machine threaten a hierarchical society? Diego talked about that. What is it?
It makes everyone more equal.
So they make more products, they give more things to people, then they want to rise up and overthrow the upper class. You use up all the stuff that's produced by the economy, and they'll perpetually stay the middle class. Why didn't it change? There we go. Okay, what is doublethink? Somebody give me a definition of it, quick. Amelia.
Doublethink is like having basically a contradiction in your own thoughts. Like you're feeling one thing, but you're also feeling another thing.
And so you're thinking those things, but what else are you thinking about those two things? You believe.
Believe in both of them.
Yeah, you believe in both of them. They're both 100% true, even though they contradict each other. So how is the war an example of doublethink, specifically for inter-party members? Anybody got an answer? Let's go with Andres. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Doesn't really make sense, but like, it made sense.
Okay.
I said, like, the party members believe, like, don't really believe that the war is real, but they believe that the war is like necessity. So they believe that, like, for them to be a part of the functioning member of society, they need to believe in the war. So they believe in both. Like, they
So-
know for a fact it's not real, but they believe that they need to believe it.
Yeah, so the idea is that war for the inter-party members, they know that it's not really winnable in the sense of a normal war. They never are going to win. They're just going to keep fighting, but simultaneously they believe wholeheartedly that they will win. So they're conscious of the fact, and they're unconscious on the fact that they can't win and they're going to win. Good. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. Any questions on this one, on doublethink? No? What are the two aims of the party? Tyson. Destroy independent thought and be able to conquer the world, basically. Yeah. So what are the two problems that they face?
How to kill hundreds of millions of people in seconds without warning, and I don't know.
How to like scan a person's like thoughts in like seconds.
How to know what somebody's thinking at all times. How to destroy a bunch of people all at once, and how to know what everybody's thinking. And why is this the focus of their thoughts? Of scientific effort? Why is this the whole focus of scientific effort?
Because it's only
Anybody other than the 5 that have been answering questions all class period long? Go ahead.
Mama.
Anybody? Grace, yes!
World domination and to eliminate free thoughts.
So they're trying to do this so they can maintain control of their society. They're trying to conquer the world and eliminate free thoughts to control the world that they live in. Okay, any questions about this one? Okay, if you haven't written these things down, you should be writing these things down.
Question about one, you didn't ask many questions about. What is the machine?
Who can answer that? What is the machine that he keeps talking about? He keeps talking about the machine, the machine, the machine.
Oh, the Brotherhood.
Anybody? No, not the Brotherhood. This is something that exists outside the party because it exists before the party. That's why he's talking about it. So Ingrid, what does the machine produce? We talked about it a little bit. What is the machine producing? What does it give? Can anybody help her out? Other than Diego? You know I love you, but I just want to spread that love.
2 + 2
So the machine is basically what society churns out. The mechanization of society that increases the standard of living for everybody. So it produces products, it produces goods, it produces better clothes, it produces things that make life better and easier. So the machine is just the economy, essentially, the world economy. So Big Brother and the different governments are attempting to control what the economy produces and eliminate what the economy produces so that the machine doesn't give people good things in life. Make sense? Okay. All right, use of an atomic bomb. Why don't they use atomic bombs anymore? For this one, you drew some pictures. Why don't they use atomic bombs anymore? Emily?
Why don't they use atomic bombs?
Yeah.
Because they don't know. It said that they would all have the same amount of power at the end. I just put a really great picture.
Anybody? Why don't they use atomic bombs anymore? Colby?
What's the point of taking over
Okay? So basically we burned everything up. There's nothing to take over once we've dropped bombs.
It's not livable. It serves no purpose for you. If you send an atomic bomb, I guess you could say this is a show of power. But in the end, you destroy that territory. There's no resources to plunder from it, and you have no enemies to control afterwards.
Okay, good. So, America, that's what we do. Okay, so atomic bombs. You drop atomic bombs, you destroy society. If you destroy society, you no longer have anybody to rule. Your power is gone. And then you're all alone. Okay, so they don't use atomic bombs because it would destroy their power. Let's see. Okay, why are the principal borders of the major countries never violated? David, give me an answer. Why are the principal borders of the major countries never violated?
You should have known because I kept running away.
This is like number 7 or 8, 6 or 7, 8,
3 and 7.
7.
It will go against the philosophy.
How would it go against the philosophy to invade another country? What's the consequence of if somebody that looks different invades another country? What does that then do for the people that are in that country? So, like for instance, oh man, that Dennis Quaid movie, Enemy Mine.
Such a good movie.
Enemy, none of you, and of course none of you have ever seen it, because it's a classic. So, Enemy Mine is about an alien race and the human race fighting each other. Enemy Mine is when these two fighter pilots crash on the same planet, and in order to survive, they have to work together.
Well, I think I have seen that movie.
They have to work together, and so they then, initially they hate each other, but then they become friends.
Yeah, I think I have seen
What does that then do for Dennis Quaid and his willingness to fight, Ashley? Can you go put that over there? You gonna throw it away? Okay.
What's the end of raising the kid?
So why do you not want to fight? Because you become friends with somebody who's on the other side.
You realize we're all the same.
Yeah, you realize you're all the same. You realize that you're just different people existing in different places. You have no reason to fight. So they don't want the borders to ever be violated because then it would disrupt that hierarchical society. Middle class would then see something different. They wouldn't want to go to war anymore. They wouldn't hate their enemy because their enemy would be somebody similar to themselves. So that would destroy the cause for war and it would undermine their entire society. Because what is the difference between the major parties?
No.
Between the major countries? They're exactly the same. Every single one of them is, they believe the same thing, they think the same things, they all have a big brother-like figure who's at the top. They all have principles of doublethink where they're manipulating reality. They're all the same. So what does that mean for Winston and Julia?
They can't go anywhere.
There's no escape. Literally anywhere they go is going to be the exact same.
Except to me.
Go to neutrals.
And then what'll happen in the neutral zone?
Slavery.
Slavery, death, destruction. Okay.
It's a good idea.
They could just go.
All right. Last one. How does the war allow the party to control reality? Marco.
So last week, or whenever this was brought up, where like the bombs, we were talking about how the bombs were like actually like from enemy countries, where like it was the government dropping them on their own people to like scare them to thinking that they're still at war. So like they can just use like fear, and keep telling them that they're at war to like kind of control them and like just scare them basically to do them what they want.
Yeah.
Or
So
make them do what they want.
yeah. So basically, it allows you to maintain a level of control over the society because you're constantly at war. Another thing, what else does it do if you're constantly at war? We just talked about it in our last one. That was like the smoothest. I'm going to raise my hand, but you changed the question. I don't want to answer anymore. That was good. Anybody else?
Wait, we're talking about doing wars again.
So how does the war allow the party to control reality? We just talked a little bit about it in the last question. Go for it, Amelia. Even if it's a half-baked idea, I want to hear it.
So, I said this on Tuesday, that they're like using the war as an excuse to like, take the people's resources and rations. So the people like depend on the government, to survive.
Not only to survive, go one step further. Not just to survive, they depend on the government for what? Safety, survival. There's one other really, really big one. Can these people leave the society that they are in?
No.
Why not?
Because everywhere else is the same thing.
The borders are all closed, right? So if the borders are all closed, do they have contact with anything else?
No.
So you depend upon your government for what?
Knowledge.
Knowledge and information. Everything that you have comes from the government because all the borders are shut down. Everything is closed off to you. The only way you get information is from your government. You get nothing different from what they feed you, so that allows them to control your society. Not too dissimilar from a social media app that you use 6.5 hours on your free days that constantly feeds you information. Exactly.
And not too dissimilar from our current educational curriculum, which is handed from the government, right?
Not particularly, but you have access to things outside
Yes.
of that curriculum. Okay, who is the war really against then?
The people.
What the people? There's people all over the world. That's very vague. Tell me
They're all
which
people.
Specifically, I think the war is against the party. Inner party? No. Which part of the party? The middle class. That is who the war is against. They're attempting to control and manipulate the middle class. Okay? All right. Next thing, write down an answer. Take 3 minutes, summarize chapter 3, the theory and practice of oligarchical collectivism. Bam! Nailed it. 1 to 2 sentences. What? That's what we just read. That's what we just did.
Oh, we just talked about it.
Yeah, so everything that we just talked about, summarize. Summarize our discussion. I figured that that was implied based on the last 40 minutes of discussion.